What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie. If you're new here, I do videos on faith and lifestyle, and if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can keep up with everything that's going on right here at Chasing Real. Now, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for rocking with me. Now, today I want to do a lifestyle video. I want to make one of my favorite recipes that I have been making over and over and over. And if you don't know, I went plant-based back in October of last year, so it's actually been 6 months since I've been on this journey, and I'm so thankful for platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, for the support groups, Pinterest, Google, all of these things, because they share different recipes, share different inspiration, different tips and tricks, because it is sort of tricky to be vegan when you're trying to do it in a certain way. So I am super thankful for them, and today, like I said, I want to share this recipe with you. And this recipe is coming from Instagram, this page called Vegan Bowls. And I think the original name for the bowl that I got the inspiration from is called the Thai curry ramen bowl or something like that, Thai curry noodle bowl. But I made it my own, and today I'm going to call this the Thai curry chickpea bowl, or the Thai curry chickpea soup. Now, if you're interested in knowing how I make that, go ahead and stay tuned to the video. Okay, y'all, so these are the ingredients that I use. A couple of them are not listed, but I have the garlic, crushed garlic, chickpeas, mushrooms, vegetable broth, broccoli, red pepper, coconut milk, and then you see the spices there. Also not listed is coconut aminos, or you can use soy sauce as a substitute. Okay, so next I am going to actually cook my chickpeas, or my garbanzo beans, in my Instapot. Now, I usually use canned beans if I can find them for this recipe, but they didn't have any, so I had to work with what I could find. So I am going to use these dried chickpeas, and this is my first time doing them in the Instapot. I've cooked other beans, but I figured it couldn't be as difficult as it seemed, so I went ahead and poured those in. And as far as the water measurement, I usually do 2 to 1 for my beans, but today I just didn't feel like measuring, so I just poured enough water to cover them very nicely. I'm gonna add a little bit more just because I want to make sure I'm not as sure how big these are going to swell. I do know that they are going to soak up some of that water, so just maybe about 1 inch to 1.5 inches over the chickpeas to get them nicely covered, and just a little more for measure. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to add some pink sea salt. Now, I am not going to go too crazy with the sea salt. It might look like a lot, but it's not. But I'm going to just add a little bit of that because I'm going to add some salt to the dish itself. So you just do this to flavor the chickpeas just a little. Next, I'm going to show you my Instapot. This is the one that I have. I can't remember the amount of ounces that there are here, but I am going to actually flip this top, and I'm just kind of giving it a minute to adjust. I'm going to flip this top to sealing. You want to make sure that is sealed. And y'all, please excuse my Instapot. It's been worn and I use it, and you can tell. But I'm going to put this on manual, and I'm going to try probably about 24 minutes, I believe. 23, 24 minutes. I guess I'm going with 23. I'm not going to keep it warm because I'm going to use these immediately when they come out. So I'm just pressure cooking that on high, as you can see, high pressure, for about 23 minutes, and hopefully those will be tender enough for me to be able to use in the recipe. If not, we'll just go ahead and cook those down a little bit later in the recipe. So next, I'm just gonna cut up 1 full bell pepper for this recipe, and there we go. So I've already heated up some oil in a pan, and yes, y'all, my pans are well seasoned. I use these, so don't go in on me. But I'm gonna add some mushrooms to this pan, and I am going to basically get these very brown, not overcooked, but I like them pretty tan, and you'll see that a little bit later. Also, I am going to add some pink sea salt to this. And at this point, you're just going to eyeball it. It's better to add a little bit in the beginning and not over salt. And you can taste it a little bit later in the end if you need to. And if you need salt, you can add to that. So I am just letting this cook down a little bit. I am also going to go ahead and stir this around and try and go ahead and get these mushrooms brown. So as you can see, I have cooked these down a bit. I am going to add my red pepper into that so that that can also cook down some before these mushrooms get too brown. So I'm going to incorporate that together, get that mixed in all good, get those red peppers cooking down along with those mushrooms. Yes, I love this recipe, y'all. So now that we've got those red peppers and those mushrooms cooked down, I'm just going to add some minced garlic into the mix. And you can use fresh garlic. I just like minced because I just don't like cutting up garlic. I have a food processor, but I just don't want to go through all that. So I'm just adding that to taste. And I'm going to just begin to saute that into the mix too. Okay, now into my cast iron pan, I am going to add some coconut milk. And y'all, I did not shake this up like I was supposed to. So that's why it came out like that. So I'm just going to have to separate myself. Going to have to let that heat work in. So if you're doing this at home, please shake it up very well before you add it. And this is my first time using this brand of coconut milk. It's the Kroger brand. So we'll see how this tastes. I usually use the Thai. I can't remember what the rest of the name is. So yeah, I'm just breaking up that coconut milk that I should have shaken before I poured, but I'm just going to work at that for a bit. Now I am just going to add a little bit of vegetable broth. If you want this thicker, just leave it at the coconut milk, but I like to break it up a little bit with the vegetable broth. And so I just go ahead and pour that in. I just eyeball a little bit into the mixture, and then I begin to stir that into the mix, integrating it with the coconut milk. So now that we've got those two mixed together, I'm going to add some seasonings. I'm going to add some curry powder. And I'm not going to measure here. I'm just basically going to pour until I feel satisfied. And so I pour that. And then I am next going to add some more of my favorite pink Himalayan sea salt. And I promise you guys, this is not salty. And if you're concerned, just kind of, like I said, add a little bit at a time. The next thing I'm going to add is onion powder. And I'm sure you can add onions if you like, but I like the taste of onion powder. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of that. And then another favorite of mine, which is garlic powder. I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of that garlic powder to the mix. So now I'm just going to stir all of this together. And if this is your first time making this, which most of you, it probably is your first time if you're going to try this, I would say go ahead and once you stir it up a good bit, go ahead and give it a taste and see what you need to add right then. Because once you get those flavors cooking, everything marinated, it's going to be so good. But just kind of want to make sure it has enough salt to your liking, because I'm going to add a little bit of broccoli later, which you'll see, and I did not salt that. So I want to make sure that I've got enough to be able to soak into all of the things that I'm adding to the mixture here. Okay, so now that we've got that mixed pretty well, I am going to go ahead and add some broccoli. And I've already cooked this on the side, one of those ones in the bag. I cooked it for probably about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, just to where it's loosened up just a little bit, but it's still kind of like cold. It's just kind of, or not cold, but room temperature. And so I just kind of want to add that so I can go ahead and cook that down a little bit more so it's not very soggy when it's done. And then I add that mixture of mushrooms, red peppers, and garlic to the mix. And I just go ahead and get all of that incorporated together. Man, that already looks good to me. And then I just start to mix that in together. I try to incorporate that in together, just kind of get it evenly distributed so that it can soak up all of those nice flavors from the other things that I have already cooked. So now that you've got this boiling a bit, I'm going to add those chickpeas. Those chickpeas are done. So we're going to add those in. And they're honestly, I would have cooked them a little bit more, but I'm hoping that when I put them in here, they will continue to cook down and soften up a little bit. It just kind of depends on the tenderness of how you like your chickpeas. I like mine a little bit soft. So these were a little bit, they had a little bite to them. So I just went ahead and mixed those in. Hopefully, like I said, those will soften up. So I'm just going to kind of mix that in together, mix those in well, and we're going to let those cook down. Now, another alternative to the chickpeas would be noodles. I used to use rice noodles. That would be really good. And also maybe you can add this on top of some rice. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let this cook down a bit, and I'm going to put the lid on just to kind of seal. Alright, you guys, I'm extremely happy with how this turned out. This is the final product. The chickpeas did cook down nicely. If you decide to try this recipe, let me know how you enjoy it down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.